Okay, so it looks like we're actually live here, and it's kind of awkward because I really want to drink. So I'm just going to actually pause my mic for a second. And we're going to get right into it. So, yes, I apologize first of all I apologize to the person who was expecting this to start an hour later. The one single person who looked at my channel and said, wow, Autonauts, I definitely want to be there for the start of that. Yeah, I made the stream I made it an hour earlier because I'm getting really hungry, and I realized that I usually have dinner at 4 p.m. and this stream's normal timing was going to extend my dinner out to 6 p.m. So I decided I'm going to do 3 to 5 instead, have dinner at 5 p.m. and then see how we go. So, Autonauts, I've talked about it a few times. I've done one video on it in the past, but I have played it quite a lot. And here's the thing about Autonauts. I've got 2 achievements left in this game. So I did all the enlightenment ones. This one's massive pain, this one massive pain. This is the enlightenment video that I did. And now I've just got settlement and settlement bot limit. So that's what we're going to be doing for this series. So we're going to be starting off with a new world. And it's going to be a settlement world with a 300 bot max limit. And yeah, so I'm going to start talking a bit about Autonauts if you don't know too much about it once we get in, but for now I am going to actually have a look at this map, because the thing is with 300 bots it's quite tight, so you really have to sort of make sure that you've got resources in a good place. So some resources we don't care too much about. Some resources we care a lot about. I don't care. I was clicking on it and it was doing things. I don't know. Is that clouds or something? I don't understand what this thing is doing. It's calibrating. Is that changing my seed? It's moving stuff around without calibrating my seed. That's weird. Okay. Alright. So what we're looking for is a few different things. Obviously we want tons of stone and clay nearby. Metal ore is a little bit further away, and coal we don't really care too much. And we want a good close supply of fresh water and swamp. So ocean we don't really care about. We need it for sand, but yeah. Okay, so this is looking a little bit. Where's our swamps? Swamps are kind of crappy. Where's swamps? That's a little bit of swamp. That's not too bad. Let's have a look. Where's our stone? Stone and clay. So these are pretty close, stone and clay, but they're not all that big. And this kind of encroaching. So I'm looking for a really, really nice map. What's this one look? So stone there, clay there. That's not bad. We got a very decent amount of swamp there. Decent amount of fresh water, stone, clay. Okay, and we got raw metals right there. Our coal is way off in the boonies. But again, as I said, it doesn't really matter. So we got this really nice little area here. It's got some tons of fresh water, decent amount of swamp, stone. It's got a nice big patch over there, and it's got a secondary patch down there. And then clay, we've got just clay all over the place, and raw metal a decent distance away. And forest, it doesn't matter because we can make forest wherever we want. Okay, so this is pretty good. Should we call it let's call it Hairymuppet. So let's give this one a crack. And we're just going to go through. And again, this is going to be a 2-hour stream like I say most of my streams. I've only done a few streams so far, but yeah. they're basically going to be 2-hour streams for the most part. So this is the thing that sort of guides robots, automate industries and build worlds. And yeah, we have to get all the way up to stage 8. Starts down here, goes all the way up here. Now, if you've ever played Autonauts before, then settlement mode is a bit better. Okay, thank you very much. Well, it'll just speed through all these. Is kind of tutorial stuff. I'm an expert at the game, so I don't really need any of this stuff. And I did turn off the tutorial, so I'm just going to be doing whatever the hell we want here. So if we have a look, there's our stone, there's our clay. So this probably looks like a really good place to start our lumber, because it's right next to the stone. We can start doing tools here, and then we can start to branch out a bit, and we can start getting the cooking set up around this area, maybe berries around there, I'm not sure exactly, but yeah. We can't move this to an area we haven't discovered yet, so yeah. Anyway, so to sort of let me sort of introduce Autonauts for players who haven't really touched it before. It's an automation game entirely around robots. So the basic premise of this game is that anything you can do, you can teach a robot to do. But you have to teach every robot. There's the wonderful thing about Factorio is you've got logistics chests, you've got passive provider, active provider, that sort of thing. You just put down a chest and you say, I want this in this chest, and the robot will go and fetch it from another chest that has it. So it's very sort of hands-off. You create 1,000 robots, you set up a certain amount of chests, and everything just sort of starts working. In this game, it's very mandrolic. If you want a robot to do something, you gotta actually tell it exactly what you want it to do. And there are chests, but you can theoretically finish the game off without using a single one. Although you definitely want to use them for caching purposes. And yeah, so there's no inserters and there's no conveyor belts. The robots, you have to use robots in place of the conveyor belt. You have to use robots in place of the inserters. So the robots do everything. And so instead of putting an item on a conveyor belt and having it move to a certain place and then an inserter picks it up, you have to say, okay, I want one robot to move the item from this chest to that chest, and I want another robot to pick it up from this chest and put it in the machine, and then I want another robot to take it from the output of this machine and put it in a different chest. Or you can have one robot do all 3 of those tasks, but then that robot is just bumbling around doing all 3 of those tasks, and it's quite slow. And if you haven't seen my video, which I released it was a couple of weeks ago now, about that whole thing, then feel free to check that out. But yeah, that's basically, look at all this little stone that we had lying around. That's the problem with moving over here, is we're not going to have much of that stone. So we're definitely going to need a bunch of stone to start with. So let's go ahead and let's grab this stone. And I just want to double check. We're definitely doing it at the right. Yes, it is 1440p. I just thought I'd double check that. But yeah, 1440p. All right. Let's go grab this stone and let's chuck it up there. And yes, get this going. Wouldn't it be hilarious if suddenly at 4 p.m. like a dozen different people dropped in and they're like, hey, why has the stream already been going? What's going on here? Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. My theory is that if I was getting 1 or 2 people watching Factorio, then I'm going to get a fraction of that watching Autonauts. But we'll see. Yeah. I'm definitely still playing around with it. And I think the 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. is probably what I'll be going on for in the future. The only reason that I thought 4 to 6 was because obviously I'll work full time, but I I was a little bit concerned that I have to work late, but I think we'll play it by ear because, yeah, usually I'm like a breakfast at 8, lunch at 12, dinner at 4 p.m. sort of person. It's like one of those only eat for 8 hours a day. It's not keto, it's something else. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a pretty good deal. It's a pretty good deal, and it sort of keeps you healthy and fit and stuff like that. So yeah, pushing out my dinner to 6 p.m. Not the greatest sort of thing, but we'll push it out to 5 p.m. and we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start off by building a workbench, and that's going to allow us to make some tools and... oh, sticks. Why am I picking up stone? I'm thinking ahead. So basically what we want to do is we want to make a workbench. We want to start making some axes and some shovels. And the axe is the big thing, because once we make an axe, we can start to chop down trees and we can get an infinite supply of logs. And what we're actually going to be starting off as soon as possible is this bot assembly. Basically, we just want to make robots as soon as possible, and then we want to get the robots to start making lumber automatically. Lumber is always the first thing you want to get going in Autonauts, because... so we got 4 logs, we need 1 more log. And then we press the Q button and store our axe in our backpack, chuck 2 logs onto here. And I just realized, oh, we only need 4 logs. I miscalculated. I'm already screwing up in this game. But, yeah, it's alright. It's alright. To be honest, I'm a little bit sleepy at the moment. In holiday, probably been playing too many games, but not Factorio and not factory games, just other random games. Team, we don't have any teams, so yeah. Alright. So we're going to start off, and the first robot that we're going to build is going to be the guy that actually chops wood for us. And yeah, get him to help with this sort of starting area, and we'll see how we go. So, I should be chopping this, shouldn't I? There we go, 2 more planks. And seed, the seed is the unofficial brain of the robot. Even when you're doing like tier 4 bots, the really, really amazing ones, it's still basically just seeds everywhere for their brains. So yeah, you can see we're already just burning through all of these plans on the left-hand side. And here we go. Here's our first bot. So we're going to spend most of our time in here, and we're going to call this guy Tree Chopper, and press the record button. And we're going to move over to here, and it automatically detects that we're finding a tree, going to it, and using the held item. It doesn't understand what an axe is. All it knows is that you're going to a held place and using an item. There we go. So we're just going to have it do that forever. Now later on, it's going to have some... Now, right now, it doesn't know what it's doing because it's expecting an axe. So we're going to give it our axe, and it's going to start chopping wood. So, there we go. Yeah, while I'm building another robot, let's just talk about settlement mode versus enlightenment mode for a second. So there's a few key differences. Settlement mode is basically the big mode, where signs basically cost 10 times as much as in settlement mode. Enlightenment mode is very, very expensive. It's meant for a long game, and to be honest, it's a fair bit... It's quite a bit more painful than settlement mode. So enlightenment mode took me about 70, 80 hours to go through, and I did that in about 2 weeks, which should tell you about what level of video game addiction I am currently suffering from, which is one of the reasons that I'm doing these streams, because then I love playing these games. Not so much Autonauts, I'll go into that in a sec, but Factorio, Shapes, all those sort of games, I just love playing them. And so, yeah. We're going to be, for this one, however, basically, how do I put it? I love Autonauts to a specific level. I love playing it up to a specific amount, and I definitely reached that amount a fair while ago. Let me put it this way. Autonauts is a bit of a slog, as I've talked about in my other video. If you want to know more about why it's a slog, go watch the other video. Because I kind of don't want to repeat myself, although I probably will repeat myself a little bit. But the point is that, yeah, it's... let's just say that once you get up to 1,200 robots, the appeal of programming robots one by one kind of goes out the window. So yeah, so I kind of had this on-off relationship where I'd do it for a little while and then I'd stop doing it and I'd get sick of it. And finally, I reached the end of Autonauts the game, and I got to the end and I'd finished everything off and I was like, that's amazing, I'm finally done, I'm so happy. And then like a week later, they released, no, that's the problem with the shovel. You click on ground, it automatically starts digging it up, so that's not what we want. Okay. I'm going to start programming this guy to do the second phase of trees, which is digging up the stumps. And like the other guy, we're just going to be manually giving him a tool. Well, there you go. There's your tool. Now, this guy's almost out of wood, but we're going to give him a log. We're almost out of trees, but we're going to give him an axe anyway. So we can keep going. And yeah, so after when those achievements came out, a bunch of new achievements came out a week after I finished the game, and one was for Enlightenment mode and one was for Settlement mode. And then that point I was just burnt out. I was just like, I really don't want to play again, and so I just sort of put it off. I tried a couple of times, but I mean, when you got Factorio in your game library, like chalking up a 70-hour run of Autonauts is kind of hard. It's kind of hard to just sort of do that. Just sort of have that done. And it is a grind. Anyway, a few weeks ago I decided just grab some Autonauts, grab some Enlightenment mode, 80 hours in 2 weeks, and I got it done. I pushed myself and I got it over the edge. So that took care of 4 of those achievements. And now I've just got 2 left. And those are the Settlement mode achievements. So I'm going to finish those off right, and we're going to... What are we going to do? We're going to build another robot. We're going to finish those off, and then basically I'm going to have streaming 3 days a week. That's my plan. 2 days are going to be in the afternoon, and then 1 day on a Sunday morning. And my Sunday morning is going to be my Factorio stream. Tuesday afternoon is going to be my Autonaut stream until I get this achievement knocked off. And then it is going to go to another game. And that other game, I'm not sure if I should keep it in suspense because... Anyway, it's going to be Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley is not an automation game in the stricter sense, but it is an incredibly popular game. And I've only ever played it little bits and pieces. I've never played a full game. I've never really sort of devoted myself to it, to go all the way. So that is what we're going to be doing, Stardew Valley all the way. And then I'm going to do a third night, which is going to be do not dig up. The Thursday night is going to be my other automation game night. So I'm going to do Sundays and Thursdays going to be automation, and Thursdays is going to be Shapes 2 1.0. So they're releasing the new manufacturing mode. That's going to be awesome. So yeah. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to get this guy to dig a particular number of holes Because the problem is these logs, these stumps are going to be, the holes are all going to be in random crazy places, which I don't want. So we're going to get this guy, and we're actually going to get him to dig holes in a 10 by 10 grid. And I'll explain that in a second. But first of all, it's going to be in a checkerboard pattern. Because if it's just 100% full, then it's not good. Because basically, hole digger. And this guy is actually going to be a temporary robot. We're not going to need him after a while, because once the holes are dug, we're not going to need to dig any more holes, because the holes are just going to naturally appear when the stumps are dug up. This is not really necessary at this point. I could just keep using the same holes and having the same sort of weird layout, but whatever. Actually, I'm going to move this a little bit. So, yeah. So, my thoughts are getting a little bit confused here, but anyway, the reason we only get him to dig in a 10 by 10 location is because when you chop down a tree seeds and logs and stuff can spawn next to where you chopped it down. And these bots only have a 12 by 12 pickup radius, so that's why we have to have a 10 by 10 tree radius, a 10 by 10 ratio where the trees are in. So this guy, we're going to fill in all the holes that are not part of this checkboard location. And actually, we're just going to do that manually, because you don't need a bot to do that for us. But we are going to build one more bot, and we're going to get that bot to basically grab the seeds and start chucking them everywhere. And we are actually going to have a specific chest for the seeds as well. I'm not sure whether it makes sense. You know what? I think we're just going to go ahead and we're going to get the seed box at the moment, and then we can just get a robot to pull things into the actual thing. I don't know. I'm out of breath at the moment. Maybe it's not such a good idea to be streaming before I eat, because Sunday morning I have a hearty breakfast and then I cast and I feel great. So maybe I should. Maybe, I don't know. It's interesting, but I definitely feel out of breath. I definitely feel like maybe streaming before dinner. But then again, I'm talking like crazy. So in the future, probably not going to talk as much. We'll have to see how we go. Alright, so this guy is stump digger. So we need another robot. And we're actually running out of stumps. We're running out of logs, sorry. So no, we don't need, we already got a pole over there. And just need one more plank, and that should be enough. And we're getting reasonably close to the point where we can actually have these guys doing a full loop. It won't be full automation until we have tools automated. They will still run out of tools and then just sort of stand around wondering what's going on. Oh, that's not what we want. We want seeds. So we're going to pull this in like that. And we're going to use this current dirt area. We're going to do that until your hands are full. You move over here until the hands are empty. And notice we didn't put the move inside the loop, because once you're in there, you don't need to move anymore. You know what? We are actually going to put that in there. And it may seem like a silly idea now, but the thing is, this will actually help us out later, because what can happen is, when let's say you've got a robot with a bunch of seeds in its hand and it's waiting to put them in the storage, but it can't put it in the storage because the storage is full. So it's just sitting there repeating over and over again until a hand's empty, trying to add to the tree storage. Now what you do is you grab this tree storage and move it. Now this robot is still just spinning until its hand's empty, trying to add it to the storage, but you move the storage. So now even when the storage starts emptying, the robot will just keep spinning because it doesn't realize the storage has moved. And so you just have to stop it and restart it in order for it to find the storage. Whereas if we leave the storage in the repeat, you can move the storage and it'll be fine. So now we just need a new robot for a seed planter. Are we going to have enough logs to get us over the line? I feel like we are just going to be a little bit short. But that's alright. And let's just go ahead and plant some seeds. I'm not sure if these are actually the right holes because we may need to manually... Oh, here we go. There's a nice... This is one thing I don't like about these games. You get in a flow and suddenly you've got a commemorative blah, 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 and it just sort of interrupts your flow. It's not great. Alright, you have a shovel. Let's go ahead and build our... I won't say our final foresting robot, because we are going to need a few more after this, but it's going to be the final one that we need to start a full loop. Let's put it like that. And get ourselves a seed. And then we just need one more log. One more log. We're going to have to go up here. Actually, let's get you to temporarily change up and go up there. Because you're kind of being idle at the moment, so we might as well get you to do something useful. Alright, thank you very much. And we'll chuck one of these planks into a pole. And unfortunately, even though we got plenty of hand room, we can't carry one plank and one pole at the same time. So once you have something in your hand, you can't pick up anything else. And that goes for the bots as well. Which makes tool crafting a pain in the ass to do with a single bot, because you got to go for a stone, you got to bring it back. You got to go for a stick, you can't bring it back. You can't go out and, say for example, pick up 2 stones and 2 sticks and then come back. The bots just aren't able to do it, which makes it very annoying. So usually I have, for creating a tool, I have one bot doing the stone, one bot doing the stick, and one bot storing the tool. Storing the tool, that came out wrong. You have one bot storing the tool. So you have 3 bots per tool, and it allows them to go very, very fast and create tools very quickly, which you need end game, but with a 300 bot limit, not so much. Alright. This one you don't really need to have in there, but we're going to do it anyway because why not? And then we're going to have... We're going to put it in the same 10 by 10. It doesn't matter what this... Actually, we can make it checkerboard. So then it doesn't put any seeds in any of the dodgy holes that we got to get rid of. Until hands are empty. And then... That's it. So now we are automating the creation of the trees. And once these trees grow, our tree chopper will automatically come in. Automatically come in and start chopping down the trees when they're fully grown. And at least for now, you can't really control the rate at which the trees grow. They grow as fast as they grow, so you can't really speed them up. There is something called a tree seed something or other later on. A tree farm. A little box that you can put trees in. I don't really know too much about it, to be honest. I never really used it. I mean, when you're playing in Enlightenment mode, you can just spam 100 more bots. Well, maybe 100 a bit more, but you can spam like 40 or 50 more bots and just make the field bigger and your forestry will just take care of itself. So, yeah. You don't really need to worry about that. Although I may look into it this run because, again, bot limits are going to be a big pain in the butt. Okay. So you've done everything up there. We're going to... make that your 10 by 10. This tree looks fairly out of place. I'm not sure. I think we manually put a seed in there, which is why that out of place tree is there. Anyway, let's get rid of these holes. I do like to be kind of neat and tidy when it comes to these bases. Yeah. It kind of does make things take a little bit longer, but yeah, we can just make this an Autonauts chill. And if things take longer, then things take longer. It's okay. So, as you can see, we're running out of shovels like crazy. That's fine. Are there any more errant holes that we don't want in weird positions? I'm going to give this one to my stump digger guy. And he can dig up this errant stump and then we can manually fill in that hole. We're going to run out of stone very quickly. We're pretty much already run out of stone, and then we have to get a pickaxe and we have to start hitting this manually, which is not good. So let's go get at least one stone guy going on so we can start mining some stone. And that will be a lot better. Sticks we get when trees are chopped down. We'll get a certain amount of sticks. Usually it's enough. Later on in the game, it's going to start to not be enough. And in that case, we can start getting a guy with a mallet to hit a tree. And when you hit a tree, it drops seeds and sticks, but it doesn't actually fall over. So you can basically get infinite stones and infinite sticks using that trick. But yeah. As you can kind of tell, the start of the game is quite slow, but I feel pretty good. Having stone and lumber close to each other is extremely good for tool generation, and your tool generation is going to be a big deal later on, because you can see these guys are using up tools like crazy. So, and we're already out of seeds, which is fine. Let's go ahead. And we're still using the axe that we had at the start of the game, I think. So, it's pretty good. We got our pole already, so we don't need another pole for this. We've got a nice little supply of seeds up the top, which the bots are not stealing. So, that should be fine for creating robots for a little while. And, yeah. You know what it is? You know why I'm feeling so tired? It's because streaming all this talking is actually quite energetic behavior. And I've actually started, I started dieting a few days ago. I started getting a new diet. And yeah. Now this one, we don't really need to constrain the range. That's fine. I do kind of like to constrain the range though, because it's better for performance. Now, I don't claim to know anything about Autonauts under the covers. I know very little. All I know is that at the end game, the game starts to slow down to like 20 frames per second if you've got too many bots. Now, we probably won't run into that problem in this game because performance limits, because we got a 300 bot limit. That's what I meant to say. Our 300 bot limit will stop us from having too many robots, and it's usually about the 600-700 bot mark when you really start noticing, oh, this game is starting to run like crap. But yeah, but still, you know, it's good to get a little bit of performance improvements where you can get them. So We're definitely running out of every single type of tool for these robots. Let's just chuck the rest of these stones down. Give you the axe. I'll give both of you guys a shovel. And you are probably in the way, so we'll move you. Give you a shovel, and then give you a shovel. The hole digger, he's going to be stopping in a little while. And we do actually want one more robot here because, let's put it this way. Well, I want to make sure that this area is actually square. We've mapped out a 12 by 12 area, which is our forestry area, but it's kind of a bit janky at the moment. It looks like a weirdly shaped egg. It doesn't look like a nice 12 by 12 area. So we're going to fix that and make it look a little bit nicer. And give me this other pole here. Drop one on there, leave the other one next to it for the next robot. And then we just need our 3 planks, and we already got another plank over here. So yes, the first few episodes of this are going to be probably pretty slow. Having said that, we've been going for just over half an hour, and we've already got a pretty good forestry setup going on here. So let's get a shovel. There's a lot of manual running around and doing things, and then basically the way this game works is you run around and do things manually until you get sick of running around and doing things manually, and then you get a bot to do it. That's basically the moral of the story, and it extends to pretty much everything in the game. Like, you get sick of chopping down logs, you get a bot to do it. You get sick of moving the logs over to build robots, you get a bot to do it. You get sick of building new buildings, you get a bot to do it. Like, anything you get sick of doing, you get a bot to do it. Alright, let's drop the twigs here. We're going to need a second shovel. I'm not actually going to name this. Generally what happens... I'm not even sure I should have named this one. Let's call this one Mark 0003. Generally, when there's a temporary bot that is just doing some temporary stuff, I never name it. So we're going to get you to dig up some soil. Basically, what you do is you dig up the soil. Oh, go away. You're going to dig up the turf and make this a nice square sort of area. And then we're going to pick up this turf and we're going to place it. And when you place turf on soil, it goes back to being normal grass. And that is how we make this area look nice again. We're going to grab all the turf this guy digs up. We're going to put it along this line. And the last thing we need to do to get this done is to cut down these mulberry trees. And we're just going to put these off to the side. These are actually going to be useful in the end game. So for the very, very last level of clothing, we need silk. And yeah, that's going to take a very, very long time. So we'll just drop them on the ground. I'm not too worried. Things that you just leave on the ground can despawn sometimes. Which is okay. It's fine. We can deal with it. So we'll just get this, put that over there. And this log, we're just going to drop it here. So now it's within range of the 12 by 12 and we can rely on bots to pick it up later. So I'm just going to do a little bit more cleaning here. This bot is standing right on top of the hole that I want to fill in. Right on top of it. Okay. We have to pick up this bot. Oh, you can't pick them up when they're actually still working. Alright. Stop him, pick him up, move him. You can run again, but you can't do anything because you're still missing your axe, but that's fine. That is fine. I'm not giving you my axe because my axe is useful and I want to hold on to it. Later on you can get backpack upgrades so you can have a better sort of more tools in your backpack. Yeah, I think you get up to 3 max or something like that, but anyway. So yeah, now basically what we need to do is we need to get guys collecting logs, collecting sticks, and then we'll start to move towards, we'll start to fill up this area actually as well. Since we've got all the landscape going around, we might as well. So let's go here. And one of the actual really awesome things about this game is that you can move buildings. And you just move them wherever you want. So you say, alright, I got a plank over here. I just move the building over here, and then move over, grab it, chuck it in there, chop this down, and it is nice. We're going to have to fill this hole in as well because it's right on the edge, and it's definitely not in the place that we want it to be. Let's go get a pole. And then we can start to get this log storage going. Now we have to put our log storage in a very particular way as well. Now I'm not going to plan for the end game at this stage because that's just insane, but I'd like to leave approximately a certain amount of room. It doesn't really matter anyway, because this lumber, we could spread this lumber out to here, which is probably what we'll do. We'll end up just extending this lumber out in that direction if we need more of it. Okay, we're going to budge this up here. That's going to be our seed guy. We just need... alright, fine, you can have my log. Oh, my axe, you can have my axe. And I don't think I need a shovel for anything else. Oh, I need a shovel to get rid of that hole because I don't like where that hole is, but other than that, hole. Well, I need the stump digger to keep working in this area, so I can't move him over. You know what? I'm going to temporarily get him to start digging that stuff. No, all right, run, go for it. Do your work. And what else are we doing? Because what we need to do next is kind of create a wood place. Basically, we've been chopping into planks and into poles, so we need to automate that process. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get... I'm going to get another axe. I am really losing it. Look, let's put it this way. I mean, clearly this whole doing a stream before dinner thing is not working out for me because I am just absolutely starving and I'm completely... I don't know, this diet... Whoa, I didn't even mean to chop that plank. Wow, I'm just chopping things. I can chop it anyway, it's fine, but yeah. No, that's it. That's it. Diet is... Playing a stream and dieting do not go well together. They just don't. But, anyway, it's all good. It's all good. We will survive, we will thrive, and we will get Autonauts on the way. So, I think what we might have to do is we might have to move our stream to something like 5 to 7 or something like that. Alright, we'll move the seed thing up here. And then we'll move the sticks up here, because sticks are used for tools, seeds not so much. Okay, so we got our... Let's keep making some more robots. Alright. And yes, keep making some more robots. The good thing I like about this is you get 4 planks, you can chop one of them into a pole. No, that's not what I meant to do. Chop. I meant to drop you. I meant to drop you over here, please. I was going to drop this extra plank over. First thing I think we're going to do is we're going to get a log collector, because there are logs absolutely everywhere. They are just all over the place in here. Okay. Alright, here we go. Log collector. And it's probably about time to actually start making a group for these guys. Pick up log. And we're going to say until hands full, and then drop them off at the pallet until our hands are empty. Now, this may seem a bit silly because the robots can only pick up one log at a time, but it's going to make sense later on when we start updating these bots. You're going to end up with Mark II and Mark III robots, and Mark III robots can definitely pick up like 2 logs at a time. And then we don't have to update their programming when we update the bots, which is going to be awesome. Alright, how's our... You're still complaining. Have you not dug all the holes yet? I feel like you've dug all the holes yet. Go over here. You haven't got a shovel. If I give you a shovel, what are you going to do with it? Okay. Apparently there's a soil somewhere. No, oh, I see what he's doing. There is no soil left to dig. It's just stumps, but he's still saying, okay, give me a stump and I'll do it. Okay. Well, you are officially out of work now. You can just stay there, and we'll find something else for you to do. We're going to give this guy to the actual stump digger, and we're going to create a forestry team. The log collector, not the stone miner, but all the other guys, go into the forestry team. Beautiful. And that's the last stump digger that this guy will do in that area. We're going to move him back down. And again, move him into the 10 by 10 area. And job done. Now we just need a guy to collect sticks. Hey, look at that. You're available. We can actually get you doing something straight away, which is very nice. Until hands full, put him in here. Until hands empty. Whoops. Okay, let's get that. The correct area. A nice little 12 by 12. Alright. Okie dokie. We are in a pretty good situation right now, so... We're actually going to squeeze these in here. We're going to need a plank storage, and can we actually, before I do that, oh, that was just my phone reminding me that I have a stream in 10 minutes. Ha! How funny is that? I don't think you can... I know you can rotate. I was wondering if you can flip. That's sort of something that I should... Maybe I should Google that. I don't think you can. No. Doesn't look like you can. Doesn't look like you can. Which is annoying because this by default is going to drop the items off here. It's a little bit inefficient, but if we could flip the item, the building, then that would be better. It's alright. This is going to have to get moved over a little bit anyway because we're going to need poles to turn into pegs later on. So we'll probably have to move this over later. All right, let's get this set up. We actually need to use an axe to build these. And if you've got a half-used axe, that's not a bad idea because it doesn't really matter. Okay. Let's just keep grabbing logs. So you can see the automation is already sort of working out for us because instead of having to wander around the forest, we can just get planks here. Okay, so we need one more axe. And we need a stick over here. I'm going to help this poor guy out and grab all these seeds up here. Oh, for some reason I wasn't moving. I think maybe I gave myself the move action while I was, I don't know, doing something else. There we go. So eventually you will end up with a net positive of seeds, because when you chop down a tree you get one or more seeds, I think. So it kind of works out. But, alright, let's chuck that in there. And then we just need to get these storages done. And let's have a look. So, actually, we can just put a log. I was about to go and grab an axe, but we really don't need one, do we? Because we can just use these. These are basically just buildings that convert logs to planks and planks to things. So we can just do it directly in here, which is really, really nice. Unfortunately, while you're in the middle of doing something, you can't mouse over these guys anymore. Alrighty. 1, 2, 3, 4. We might as well build both of them at the same time. Man, I really am starving. What was I thinking? Gonna delay my dinner until 6 PM. That's just nuts. Alright, so we just need one log to get these 4 poles. And then once we get these, we're gonna have 4 robots. We may have less robots later on, but I think we should be okay having 4 robots here because we are going to use so much wood in this playthrough. You're going to have to use an incredible amount of wood, so I feel okay. Stone miner, stick collector, you belong in that group. You are the turf guy. You can come over here. You don't need to be doing that anymore. And feel free to drop that shovel. You don't need it anymore. This makes you come to you, and this one just makes them drop stuff. Alright. So we go pick up a log until hands full, because remember later bots will be able to grab multiple of them. Drop it. And again, put the entire thing into the block. And then we're going to repeat this until this chopping block is not empty. So in other words, when there is output still here, it's going to stop doing what it does. Okay. Plank maker. And then we put that inside a forever job. So what that means is this bot is going to stop until there's planks here. And then when the next robot comes and picks those planks up, this guy's going to restart again. And you can see right now, it's in an infinite loop because, of course, as soon as we pick these up, it realizes, hey, I need to go and start making them. And I usually have the sound turned off, so I usually don't notice that really, really annoying sound that it makes, but it's fine. Grab this, go. And we're actually a victim of our own success here because, well, we don't have enough seeds because this guy is too busy trying to get this forest going. Now this would sort itself out if we could keep them supplied with tools, but we can't at the moment. How many? We got 15 sticks, which is kind of okay. All right. You're going to be plank storer. And yeah, for those who are very familiar with the game, repeat until hands full. This is a situation where you could have one bot doing both things, but I'm going to have 2 bots doing them. And the sole reason I'm going to have 2 bots doing them is because planks is going to be one of the most throughput intensive parts of the entire base. Planks and poles are going to be very throughput intensive. So yeah. And if we ever get to the point where we need one bot doing both of these, then we really have reached the limit of our 300 bots. And I don't think we're going to get to that point, but we're going to make a new team. I'm going to chuck those guys in there. And now we're actually going to make this guy an axe. So he stops complaining, starts chopping down trees, and we'll see. I don't think the seeds will actually fix themselves anytime soon. I think it takes a while. And usually they won't fix themselves until this log storage is backed up quite a bit, which is not going to happen for a long time now that we're actually converting the logs into planks and poles. But we might be able to go up to another area that has logs and start stealing seeds from there. Or we could just go to this robot and say, you know what, seed planter, come over here, drop everything. Stop. Give me those 4 seeds. Chuck them over here. Alright, seed planter. Now you can go about your business. So we've got ourselves a little 4 seed storage here that we can use to create robots. Alright. And now, of course, we run into a similar problem where we're almost out of logs because these guys are just working too hard. Hey, that's our 10th robot by the looks of it. Very nice. Alright, we've been going for almost an hour, so now those massive amount of people, which were waiting eagerly for the actual 4 PM official time of this stream to start, will all come just soaring into my stream chat. They'll all come soaring in and they'll say, hey, Hairymuppet, why is the stream an hour early? What were you thinking? We missed out on the start, we're so upset. Any second now, they're all going to... Yeah, no. It's, I'm not a very popular streamer at this point, so I don't think too many people are going to show up angry at me, which is a good thing, but... you know. Anyway, until hands full, add to chopping block until hands empty. And this just sort of... used for efficiency, basically. Because the less time the bots are actually running around doing stuff, the better. That's why we always get them to do hands full, hands empty. I'm going to take that pole, put it over here. And I'm really glad I usually turn sound off so I don't have to listen to that noise, but... Anyway. We're actually struggling to find everything over here. The seeds... I guess they're looking a little bit more healthy. They're going to start to back up soon, I reckon. Anyway, this will be the last robot we need for basic woodworking. And then we could basically start automating robots, which is very exciting. Actually start automating the process of making robots. Alright, so you are our pole storer. And you just pick up poles right here until your hands are full. Chuck them in here until your hands are empty. And just do that forever. The storers are very simple. You don't need to do anything crazy about them. They just pick up and then they put away. And the good thing about this is they will stop automatically when the storage is full, because they won't be able to empty their hand. And that naturally stops the system when you've got enough of an item, which is really nice. Alright, you need a shovel, apparently. Let's go ahead and give you a shovel. I like this. The seeds are starting to back up because there's just... Well, there's not enough places to put the seeds because all the stumps are haven't been dug out yet, but it's kind of alright. I'd like to clean up this place later on, but it's not a priority at the moment. What do we need? We need a chest. Now, the start of the game... Oh, thank you very much for that achievement. Oh, yes, I'm so wonderful. Go away. I hate the fact that it just interrupts me. I wonder if there's an option to turn that off. I don't think there is. No, there's not. Graphics, controls... No. No. No, there's not a lot... I mean, this game is solid, but it's... not like comprehensive. It's not like Factorio where you need a manual to go through the options menu and actually see what everything is doing. Alright. So yes, very, very cramped together. Which is alright. What we might actually do later on is we might move the log storage up here and then start spreading that across so we have room for the pegs. And then pole storage goes up there. We are definitely out of logs. This guy's going for the last log. I was trying to get there first. I'm not going to get there first. What we're going to do is we're going to try and pick up that log before the plank maker gets it. Which was pretty easy because he wasn't actually looking for one. Now he's looking for one. That's so nice. Technically we don't need a guy to put the stone in there, but then again, it's kind of a force of habit. Technically, we just leave poles here and not even put them in storage, but it definitely looks cleaner. I am going to be so annoyed if we get to the point where we can't put stuff in storages, where we just have to leave it lying on the ground because we don't have enough bots to correctly put things away. But yeah. Organization is nice. Stone storer. Okay. So we've got stone nice and close. I'm going to move this down here. I'm going to move these guys up here. I'm going to make these very... Well, we're going to make them a little bit close to each other. And we're going to start spreading out here. This is going to be our tool area. And the great thing about this is we've actually got metal right here. So when we start to make metal tools, we can literally store them very, very close. And these bots can just pick them up and use them. So this is actually a really nice area. So we're going to get a stone team. Put them in the stone team. Thank you very much, Stone Team, for interrupting me yet again. Thankfully, those interruptions do get a lot less frequent later on. And then the last one just takes forever. And the last one is the one you actually get the achievement on. And that's the point where you're just like, oh, I wish it would happen a lot quicker. So right now... Okay, what's our tree chopper doing? I feel like he's complaining because he doesn't have an axe, but we can't tell. So we definitely are going to want chests for all of those. Do we have enough planks? We've got enough planks. We're going to want chests for all of those tools because you do want a few, you don't want a fair few on hand. And yes, we're getting very close to full automation here. I'm very, very excited. And because everything is so close together, I think we're going to get away with just using one bot for each tool. We're not going to have separate bots taking stuff. I can actually move this up one so it lines up. Alright, now we need to make some bots. And we're out of planks. We're going to have to... This is the problem. Once they start going, they just go forever. So there's going to be no logs available, there's no planks available, which makes it a little bit annoying to actually make bots. Let's go ahead and grab a log from over here. We'll make the axe bot first, and then we can make the shovel bot. And then once we made the axe and the shovel bot, the lumber will be fully automated. And then we should be fine. And then the logs will start spilling in again and everything will be okay. Alright, we're going to need 2 logs. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Where do we get 2 logs? I mean, we could... Maybe we just build an axe. You know what? Let's just build an axe manually. Stone's doing okay. That's not going to run out before we get pickaxes automated, I hope. Now, I want to hold on to this axe, so I'm just going to chop down some trees manually. Then I'm going to grab that log and roll away with it. And we can get a... Oh, we've already got our pole. We don't need that. Alright. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to ninja a log before the bot can get a hold of it. And I'm going to take it over here, and then we're going to chop both of these guys down and get ourselves some planks. Oh, no, do not chop the planks. I keep forgetting that my axe is just stuck in my hand there. Alright. Got a nice healthy amount of tree seeds now. Just grab 4 and just sort of dump them over here. Alrighty. So, axe maker. Now this is going to be the first bot which is kind of complicated. Okay, cancel this for a second. Let's make this the axe, and let's make this the pick. Okay, put the stick back in there. Alright. Pick up a stone. You can see how much memory they've got up there. Yeah, see, this is the problem. Those are one of the reasons why I usually have multiple bots making tools, because of this. You can't have... You can't actually have a bot storing. So what we're going to do is repeat until that's not empty. And we're going to have a second bot. We're going to have a second bot actually storing it. We have to do another repeat around there. Tree chopper. I want to give you something, but you're hidden behind the other guy. There you go. Go forth. Do your work. Actually, no. Hold up a sec. No, we don't want to repeat. I used to use repeats, but it kind of is not great. If hand's empty, I'm going to put the axe in the storage first, before we can tell the bot to take it out. Hands empty. Okay, now this bot is fully automated. Okay, this is not good. We got a stone on there, and we got stone, but we got no stick. So it's like half made, but the bot thinks that it should be in the final area. So let's go ahead. So we picked that up. See, this is the problem with these sort of setups, because what can happen is you stop him and he's halfway through, and then he gets in a weird situation where he's not doing the right thing, or he's trying to get a whatchamacallit. We need to start making... Well, we need to make another bot. Thankfully, we've got logs coming in now. Give me those planks. Planks, please. There's 3 planks, beautiful. And poles we still got bunches of, so we can go ahead and make another bot. So we'll make this the axe storer. But as soon as we get Mark II bots, which can actually do multiple things, we're going to combine these into one. So we just got one axe maker who also stores it. And we can afford to do that because the distance to get to the sticks and the distance to get to the stone is actually... In fact, I might put you there. Now you're very, very close. And we don't really need stone for the rest of the base anyway, so that's fine. Now all we need is a shovel guy. Well, we'll need 2 shovel guys actually, because of the aforementioned lack of memory of these level 1 bots. But once we get that going, we should be fine. I might as well try and build both of them right now. Oh, give me that log. I want that log. There we go. Got it in time. And once you build a second robot, the first one just sort of moves out of the way. Okay, shovel maker. Alright. Oh, now put that back. Move out of the way. Right there. And then do the stone. Until not empty. Alright. You are the shovel storer. Alrighty. That is an excellent start. Now, Mr. Stump Digger, if your hands are empty, pick up a shovel. Job done. And we can proudly say, as of this very moment, wood is automated. Forestry is 100% completely automated until we run out of stone and we can't make tools anymore, which we need to go fix right now. We need another robot, another 2 robots actually, to make picks and store picks, and then once we do that, then we will actually be 100% automated. It will be 100% impossible for this system to die ever again, which is very nice. And for some reason I've got an axe. I'm just going to put that in my inventory because you always need an axe. That influx of people I expected at 4 p.m. it just did not arrive for some reason. I don't know. Maybe they're expecting me to start at 5 p.m., which will be very awkward because that's when the stream is actually about to finish. But there you go. There you go. Pick maker. The picks just take... Ooh. This is actually awkward because we can't actually program the pick maker because you can't say pick stone out of a thing if there's no stone in it to pick. You just can't. Because it'll just go up to the chest and say, well, you're not taking anything out, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do. It gets very confused, which is... It's kind of a bit annoying, but... Anyway, let's grab a pick. Give it to this robot. We should have actually chucked the pick in the crate and made the robot go get it, but... Whatever. And now see, this is the problem with having these chests, is the pick maker and their stone maker are going to be going nuts. Trying to get things out of this chest. I'm not sure the stone collector and the stone miner will be able to keep up. They will long term, but we want them to be able to keep up short term. So, and the problem is if I stop them, if I stop the axe maker or the stone maker, then it's going to end up in this weird state where there's a stick and a stone, and then when I restart them, it's going to go to the stick storage and try and get another one. And it's very hard to get around, and that's, yeah. That's generally speaking why I don't like to have... Okay, that's fine. Because I'm only going to pick up one stone out of here each, and this guy's going to drop off 3 or 4 stones. I think it's got an inventory of 4. So we're just going to have to be quick. Actually, we're going to pick up the stick first, get that out of the way, put that down. Pick up the stone, put it down. Beautiful. Absolute work of art. I only pick up 3, I guess. Wait until not empty. Ah, another interruption. I'm glad we are getting all these, but yes. Everything, time to bring folk into the world. Alright, beautiful. I wasn't even particularly following these steps, but I guess the steps are just required for what you need to do. Go away, you sound very annoying. Alright, now we just pick up the pick, chuck it in the thing, and we've got our pick storer. That's not spelled correctly. And we just put those into tools, and then we've just got one more step. Why are you not mining? You have a pick. That was weird. Anyway. While I've got you here, do not put a repeat there. What I used to do is I actually used to have a repeat until hands empty, and then you would just do this, and then outside the loop you would go and pick up a tool. And that's kind of okay, but it actually makes it more difficult, because sometimes you say, oh, I only want you to mine stone until this storage is full, or something like that. And then that interferes with that loop, and it gets all confusing and stuff like that, so this is much better. Okay, so you're just going to go and you're going to mine stone forever. Really not sure why he stopped before. He should not have stopped. They will not mine stone if there is a bit of stone on the ground. Okay, seems to be doing fine. Alright. And here you can see that this forestry is just full of stumps. So this is where you get to the point where you're just like, okay, I need another stump guy. I need another stump guy to keep this guy running at a certain throughput. And that's the kind of enlightenment playthrough where you sort of, you try and maximize throughput. And we're kind of... That's the problem with the settlement playthrough, is you can't really do that. Because you just don't have the bots to do that. Usually I would end up with, like, for a grid this size, I'd end up with, like, 2 or 3 guys chopping wood, 3 or 4 doing stumps, 2 guys log collecting, 1 planter is probably enough, but... yeah, 2 seed collectors, 1 seed collector, something like that. It's sort of, it goes up over time to sort of get to the point where you've got enough. And like 100% I need an extra stone miner. But then again, we'll just have to see with settlement mode. We have to be okay with things going slow, I guess, is the kind of thing we need. Anyway, what's the time? We've still got 40 minutes to go in this stream. I plan to do forestry, and we've kind of done forestry, so... what I want is automated bot creation. And, yeah. That will be a good point to sort of... well, it's not going to take us 40 minutes to do automated bot creation, so that's fine. Pick that up. Put that down. So, yeah, I think we're gonna have 3 bots doing this. We're gonna have 1 do the seed and the log. We're gonna have 1 do the planks, and then 1 do the poles and the seeds, I guess I should say. So we'll have 1 do the planks. This guy will just grab until your hands are full, put until your hands are empty. Nice and simple. Bot maker planks. And we're going to do the same thing with the logs as well, because the logs are heavy and they actually slow the bots down when they're moving. I wonder if we should have more. I think it's fine to have more, because later on we will have 4 bots making the more advanced robots. So we might as well have 4 bots here, because then it just sort of lines up and we can reuse those bots. Until hands full. Until hands empty. And because the tree seed is the brain, I'm going to use the tree seed to actually determine what's going on here. To actually stop making the bots when we have enough, if that makes sense. Okay, poles you just pick up until your hands are full. Bot maker poles. Until your hands are empty, you drop them all off. What is this beeping about? Okay, bot maker seeds. Now this is where we're going to try and get a little bit interesting, because I don't just want 1 bot made at a time. I want 4 or 5 bots sitting there waiting for me as much as possible. Until hands empty. So we're going to repeat this 2 times. That should ostensibly be 8 bots, approximately. So it's going to keep going until there's no bots, until there's at least one bot here. Once there are no bots here, it's going to get, I think their hand size is 3? Yeah, 3. So it's going to get 3 seeds, come back, build 3 robots. Get 3 seeds, come back, build 3 robots. So it's going to get 6 total robots, and then it's going to stop. And as soon as I pull this bot over to me, the seed bot is going to say, hey, this is empty. Go do my thing. So that's going to build 6 robots at a time, which is a nice number. It's a nice number to have. Oh boy. Okay. This is actually the exact sort of time where I'd like to sort of call the stream and finish it off. But you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep going for another half an hour. But what I will do is take a quick minute break and go grab some food because I'm starving. Alrighty, we are back. We have had a snack. I actually don't have many snacks in my house because I'm trying to diet, but I just took a couple of slices of salami that I usually put on my sandwiches and just ate them. And salami, it fills you up, surprisingly, but just wait. In a few months, I'm going to get my braces off and then I can start eating like beef. I used to eat tons of beef jerky. It's amazing, and I'm looking forward because you can't really eat that when you get your braces on. So as soon as I get that off, it's going to be awesome. So robots, go in that group. And yeah, what are we doing now? I mean, we've got all the basics. Everything's slow as. But the only reason we're running out of stone is because these chests are taking ages to fill up. The only reason we're running out of logs is because we just built 6 robots in a row. Boom. That's a lot of robots. So, over time, even with this limited amount of bots, this will all back up. And this landscape will probably... I kind of want to store these, but then again, who cares? Alright, so we need to get some folk into the world. And we need to go have a look around. So this is our encyclopedia. Yes, I know what it is, thank you. Basically, look up anything you want. For those of you who have played Autonauts before, one of the really interesting things about Enlightenment versus Settlement mode is Enlightenment mode, you have choices. In Settlement mode, you have one choice. You go berries. You can't build any other food. Clothing is just the toga using the bulrush. And toys, you just got this. You got, well, in health, you only, I think you had 2 choices. I'm not sure. But you only got 1 choice here. The food is a really big kicker of a choice, though, because this is, let's put it this way. Berries are a very inefficient food. Let me put it like this. This is your level 5 food. Level 5 takes 3 of level 4, which takes 2 of level 3, which takes 2 of level 2, which takes 4 of level 1. That's 36. And it's a factor of 30. You need 36 berries to make 1 level 5 food. Not all food has a ratio that insane. Like, I think pumpkins have a much easier ratio. It might even be 1. It's probably not 1. It's probably like 4 or 8 or something like that. But 36 is just a kick in the balls. It really is. I ended up on my enlightenment. I had like an area this big full of berries, and it was still a bit of a struggle. So, but then again, that was an enlightenment mode where I had like 20 colonists going all at once, trying to feed them, which was insane. But anyway, we're stuck at berries. Hopefully we won't need as many of them, so that's fine. Okay, so this is where we start to need some stuff. Now I've got tools being made up here, robots being made over here. I might move robots, okay, so we'll move robots a little bit further away. Now of course they're going to start making 6 more robots, which I'm fine with. But we're going to need to make, I think we make it, no, we use this. Give me a couple of logs, because we need to start making these crude gears. We're not going to automate them. We could automate them, but I don't think we're going to automate them yet. But then again, that's kind of, I know I've said this before, but about something else, but if you could sum Autonauts up in one sentence, it would be, I don't think we need to automate this right now. And then in like 4 hours time, you'll be like, why didn't I automate this earlier? Now I have to automate this. And we're off a little bit sideways because I really want a backpack, and I didn't realize you could get one this early. And yeah, backpack gives us a separate tool slot, so now we can carry a shovel and an axe at the same time. So we just drag it across, put it in our upgrade slot, and now we can put a shovel back there as well, which is very useful. Yeah. So the problem with that statement I said before of we might as well automate it now because we're going to need to automate it later is that works when you have an unlimited amount of bots. It doesn't quite work in settlement mode when you've got a 300 bot limit. So we're going to be doing a little bit less of that. The things we're definitely going to be automating are the things that we need for bots, for feeding our colonists, for making things, so for keeping things going. Like, I mean, logs, planks, poles we'll definitely need. We need that for a huge amount of building anyway. Crude gears we need for miscellaneous building every now and then. So I'm fine with not having them be automated. And if you're worried that our logs are empty again, just remember, we just built another 6 robots. And somehow they're still going strong. We have so many robots right now. And it's just insane. So the fact that we've managed to build another 6, we definitely have enough going on here. I could build another stump digger, but I'm going to wait until it becomes an actual crisis, which is not a crisis anytime soon. So, folk dispenser complete. Alright. Now here's where we get to planning. Have to start thinking about planning. Because I want everything nice and close. So I already said that the wood is going to extend out in this direction. So we don't want to build anything this line or above. But we are going to need berries. So I feel like what we should do is we should get another robot, and don't start with 35. If we start with 35, we're going to pull this guy off, and this guy is going to trigger and create 6 more bots, and we don't want that. So we're going to start with the one at the top, And we're going to... He's going to be a temporary bot. And that's going to be if your hands are empty. We're going to leave a little bit of space here. A little bit of space here for wood cutting, wood processing and stuff like that. And then we're going to make that our berry patch. And if we're lucky, that'll be good enough for the rest of the game on settlement mode. I'm not sure if it will be, but yeah. The good thing about having two bots here, one for storing and one for making, is we can just put the shovel back here. Just put it back, and then the robots will just manage it. Although we do actually need a shovel, because I got to dig up some of these guys. I'm going to dig up this one, because it's on the edge, and if you remember correctly, we don't want any actual bushes on the edge. And the good thing about berries is, yes, when you dig them up, they do give you berries, but that's not how you actually gather the berries. You just plant the berry bush, and then once it's planted, you just hit it with a stick or with a flail later on, and then basically you just get, it just drops berries, but you never actually have to dig up the berry bush, which means that our guy who actually digs holes for berry bushes will be another temporary guy. Alright, we'll put that away. We'll get a bit of terrain and we'll whack that down there. And we'll get a shovel guy to start digging the holes. And we want to set these guys up as soon as possible, because the sooner we set them up, the sooner they can start digging all of the holes. And it's going to be good because then once they've dug all the holes, we'll actually have a setup fully set up. By the time that we actually need berries, we'll have a whole bunch of berries there. 10 by 10. And we want this to be... Why can't I change that? It was nearest turf. Why was it nearest turf? It was a bit weird. I'm doing this guy, aren't I? I'm doing this guy. Okay. Soil. 10 by 10. Checkerboard. And the reason I do checkerboard is because you don't want the berries too closely placed, otherwise the bots have the bots slow down when they move in them. If you have absolutely full berries all the time, then the bots have to move over berries to get to other berries, and they get very slow. And they get extremely slow. They lose like at least 50% of their movement speed, if not more. So yeah. Oh, no, go away. Do not use that shovel on the terrain, because you start digging stuff up and it's not good. Alright, let's dump that shovel back. We're going to get... actually, we're going to get a chest for this stuff. And I'm very, very close to getting a bot to actually just make stuff for me. Yeah, why not? Let's just do it. Tell hands full. Find nearest blueprint in this area. Usually I have a dedicated area. I'll have a dedicated area later on when we get when we start getting signs. Builder planks. And then we'll get another one for... Now, in terms of bot usage, this is extremely low priority, and it's probably one of the bots that we're going to be getting rid of later on when we start running out of bots, the builder bots, because they're definitely 100% not needed for feeding colonists. And pretty much that's going to be our case, is going to be, do we need this bot to feed colonists? But what we can do is we can just paste these down, get them going. And I'm actually going to help them along. Because what you can do is you can just delete this, and then it goes into your inventory. And then we just have this here. And then we just say, pick up a stick. If your hand is empty, pick up a stick. And because the stick storage is so close, we don't even need a proxy stick area. Berry beater. And we just put that stick on the ground over here, and then our stick collector will take care of it. These two berries we pick up and we put them back in the area. And then we get berry collector to go and pick up all the berries in this area. 12 by 12 area, repeat until hands full. Chuck them. Why did that not work? Oh, it didn't work because I actually gave the bot the berries instead of putting them in the berry storage. That's kind of awkward. Alright. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to put another chest over here, and we're going to get a temporary bot to pick up all of the turf. Until hands full, and we put a little toggle exit on here. Oh, that's not good. Why have I got a berry in my hand? That's going to complicate things. Alright, pick up the turf. Put it in the container until hands empty. And we just want to clear off all the turf so we can actually see what we're doing. And it's nice to put turf into storage sometimes, because you can see that all this turf that we had left over here has all disappeared. Because it just despawns after a while if you just leave it lying on the ground. So at least if we put it in a container, then if we decide we want some turf later, we can just go over here and grab it. But this is a temporary guy. Alright. Take from berries until hands full. Found the nearest hole in this 10 by 10 area. And plant them. And again, this is going to be a temporary guy as well, because once the berries are planted, we never need to dig them up anymore. And there we go. We got a berry beater and a berry collector. And those are technically the only two berry guys we need to get berries. And then once we've got berries automated, we can get the colonists going. Now, I'm going to start off with 5 colonists, and that'll be kind of what we aim for. Usually I aim for 10, but the thing is, yeah, I had 20 on enlightenment mode because I needed 20 because it was just painful. Usually I have 10. For settlement mode, we're just going to have 5 because we're taking it slow and we've got a 300 bot limit. So if we try and go too big on the folks, we're just going to go and lose our minds. So now we need to put food in here. And obviously food is not something we have a lot of at the moment because this area is still growing. And it's going to take a while for this area to sort of get back to normal. So anyway, we chuck those. We actually need, I think, five seeds or something like that. Excuse me, just going to steal that. Cover that area up. So yeah, basically after this happens, those folk are just going to pop up. I'm going to get my own stick and we're going to start beating some berries. Actually, no, I'm going to get my shovel. I'm going to dig up these berries because they're going to be in the way later when we need more tools. So I might as well get rid of them now. Yeah, basically, you just have the folk in the middle and you just give them seeds and they spit out. You give them berries and they just spit out love, and then you put the love into a research machine. Was there another berry that went somewhere? I could have sworn I saw it, but... yeah, this is going to take a while. It's definitely going to take a while. Alright, let's go and... we won't crate all of them. We'll wait until the berries have been crated to do the rest of it, but... yeah, that's okay. Oh, it's quite funny actually. When I play Factorio, I think I'd love to get to this spot, and then I just never quite make it because I'm always trying to perfect everything and stuff like that. And here, I'm actually getting further than I thought I would, even though I am trying to make things pretty good. Well, I mean, we did say we're going to move this later, but there we go. 5 berries. Yay! And that is our first folk. So this is how we create life. So I'm going to pop this guy down here, and as you can see, he is very unhappy at the moment because he needs food. Give me this berry. Give me this berry. God, do not pick up that berry. I order you not to pick up that. He picked up that berry. Alright. Berry collector. Stop. Drop. Give me that berry. Alright. You may now... here's another thing I don't like about this game. You can't make... when you're moving, you can't give orders to bots. You have to be standing still to give orders to them. It's quite annoying. Anyway, we gave him a tiny little berry, tiny little bit of food, and as you can see, his food meter is slowly going down, but his love meter is going up, and there we go. He dropped 1 single love. What do you reckon the chances are of us getting some research done? 0, because we can't build a research bench. That's quite awkward. Why can't we build a research bench? It probably gets unlocked here. Let's actually have a look. Where is the research station? Level 1. So it's locked behind the nomad community. I guess we have to do both of these. Yeah, it just wants us to make some more folk. Which we need more berries for. Okay. Let's go ahead and just start digging up some more berries. These are probably in weird places that we'll want to get rid of anyway, so we might as well get rid of them now. Yep. As you can see, we're almost full on logs again. Planks and poles are both full. All 3 of our tool storage is full. So yeah. If you're not going at full speed, then everything will back up eventually, and this stump digger really is slow though. Really is slow. That's definitely... later on I feel like we'll need to get a second one. We'll just have to get a second one. I'm being very, very cautious with my bot making. Probably entirely too early in this game, to be honest, but I don't want to get into the point where I've got like 20 forestry guys and then have to cut them down later. Although having said that, in terms of ratios, 20 forestry guys is probably okay in terms of the 300 total, because forestry is a big part of what we need late game. We need a lot of logs and a lot of everything and so on and so forth. So yeah, I can see 30 forestry guys being very reasonable. Not usually I end up with like 100, so that's definitely not reasonable, but 30 I could see being very reasonable. Oh, we've actually got this chest backing up a bit. What's Mark 30 doing? Oh, you're just looking for a hole to put stuff in. Because our guy who digs holes is so very slow. Or the guy, more likely the guy who digs terrain is so very slow. If we had a disc, we could copy and paste and make multiple guys digging terrain. Because yeah, that guy is definitely the bottleneck at the moment. The guy digging terrain is just very, very slow. But that's alright, we'll let it go. We'll just let it run in the background. Oh man, yeah, I'm absolutely starving. Okay, number one rule that we need to follow is eat before stream. If you eat after stream, the stream will not be fun. The stream will be, oh god, I'm dying from hunger. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's not as all as though I'm in a hurry here, but actually, what do I need for the nomad thing now? This might be enough to get us a research bench. Not that we'll probably be using much of it. I really want to get that last guy. But we've finally got berries actually stacking up, which is nice. Okay. Oh, one more. We got one more to go. We do not have quite enough berries, although we've got another berry over here. And there we go. We can see this guy is going around and just beating the berry bushes, and that's going to be giving us tons and tons of berries. All right. Alright, we don't need those anymore. So now we just need 2 more bots to finish this. So we need a folk feeder. There until your hand's full. And then until your hands are empty. And we're going to repeat this until this chest is full. So we're going to stop feeding these guys when love chest is full. And we're going to grab that until our hands are full, and then we're going to put it in the chest until our hands are empty. And it looks like we'll be right on time to get this. And we can make the research bench, and we can start doing our first bit of research. Ooh, we just got a scooter as well. That's going to be fun. Scooter is basically another upgrade you can equip. And look at that. Stage 2 complete. All of our butts are happy. I was not expecting to get this in the first stream, but there we go. Got a Wonder number 1 wardrobe. I have never ever built that or used that ever. But I guess if you want to make your guy look different, then go for it. Thank you very much. Ah, that's just, the interruption is just so much. It's just so much of an interruption. And I'm just like, want to get on with it. I love the fact that our stones are full. We said, oh, we're going to need an extra stone miner guy. What is he doing? What is our stone miner doing? He should be continuing to mine this area. What are you doing? Come over here. What is wrong with you? Something about this spot or this spot, I'm not sure. He just seems to get stuck on this spot. Very strange. I don't understand that. Thank God I made those builder bots. They're just taking care of all this stuff. Research ready. Yes, there's a research menu. And we can start to get better bots, crude mixing pots, and blah, 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 blah. Can't actually see stage 8 yet, but that's pretty good. All right. Let's go move these bots down a little bit. They're kind of in the way of the research station where I want to put it. Get out of the way. We need productivity. And later on I think we'll build we'll make this finished and then we're building a cooking area down in here. Well, actually we got fresh water down here, so maybe a cooking area down here. That's not too far away from the settlement. We could move the settlement area further down as well, if we wanted to. Alright. Let's get some organization here. Berry beta, berry collector. Those are the only 2 berry guys that we really need. All the other ones are temporary. Fog feeder, a love collector for the colonists. Their range is all over the place, but I really don't care. And we can't actually do that guy yet because we haven't selected research. So it doesn't really matter what we do. Let's just start with the berries. Let's not start with the berries. There are no berries. Let's start with the robots. Advanced robots. Level 2 robots are cool. Of course I've got love in my hand. Yeah. So for each research it requires an item as a seed, pun intended in this case. So you just gotta whack that in. I'll just get that. And we'll just get that guy to go forever. Researcher. And there we go. That's pretty much it so far. We can put some extra, you can, for example, put a chest on top of another chest to increase its capability. I think, I'm not sure what we want to do that for. Probably for here. I'm going to delete that to reset its content, so I'm going to put it up there. Because we definitely want to cache the love, because that means that, because there's always, these things are going to run forever until they back up, but the problem with the research is once it finishes, we have to go down there and we have to select a new research and we have to find the new seed item for the new research and blah 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 blah, and it's sometimes a pain in the ass. So yeah, if we cache as much love as possible, then that allows everything else to keep running in the background, and then when we've selected the new research, the guy can just go and he's got a huge cache of love, because usually you will use love in the research machine a lot faster than you will actually produce love. As we can see here. We might need another berry beater. Berry beaters, I usually get a ton of them. Okay, you have filled up. So we're going to change you slightly. You are now just going to drop everything here. And drop just does everything all at once, so that's fine. Okay, and we've got to call it here at the 2-hour mark, just over 2-hour mark. And that is a great start to our Autonauts journey. We've managed to get a full stage. Or technically we got 2 full stages, but do not expect that too often. We are not going to get a stage every stream. That's just insane. It's probably going to be another 2 or 3 streams before you get to the next one. Maybe I'm not sure exactly, but we'll see. Thankfully, research is still fairly cheap, and it should remain fairly cheap because we're in settlement mode. Enlightenment mode, it just explodes, but yeah. Okay, there we go. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this Autonaut stream, and yep, I will catch you guys later.